Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 2 of this week's Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. I'm Darren Lutton, and he's back, Kevin Alderdice. He had a week off last week, and you're back, Kev, and you've even got your camera working.
Yeah, I thought I'd I got my tech crew in. Which was me.
It's great to see how handsome you actually are, Kev.
Yeah,
Loving that here.
Yeah, I'm growing this to actually hide my face, but well, that's another story. But what's annoying me is up at Coolum, they were asking me, "What are you getting me for Christmas?" Go away. I said, "You're not getting anything. You call me Santa. Go away."
Kev is, of course, Mr. Sunshine Coast Football, and here to talk women's football is Liz Ridley. Liz, welcome back.
Hey, back again. Week 3, smashing it.
Just out of interest, how many kids do you have that play?
Me personally?
Yeah. Yeah.
That I've spawned. The son, the 2 daughters, the son-in-law. Myself until last year.
I was going to say, you must be still playing, Liz, surely.
The knees are short.
Well, become a goalkeeper.
Do they all play for the Bulls?
Sorry?
Do they all play for the Bulls?
They certainly do. Yeah. Son-in-law is the topside Cat 1 keeper. And topside, both daughters play topside and reserve grade. The older one is reserve grade, but she's now retired due to maternity leave.
Whoa!
And the younger one, who's 19, she plays in the topside.
Excellent.
And son plays in under 15s.
On your grandma.
The affair.
Oh, yeah. I'm always here, 7 days a week.
Very good. All right, Kev, let's get back to you and take a look at last weekend's results. What was the standout for you? It's got to be Noosa over Maroochydore, hasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely Noosa over Maroochydore. However, Gympie beat Buderim, which is a shock.
Yeah,
beat them 2-1. Jaden Davey got them both. Buddo apparently peppered their goal, but I think Gympie only had not too many shots, but Jaden put 2 in and held on and won it 2-1, which is that's going to hurt Buderim. That's going to hurt them in the straight-out race. But yeah, the result, Noosa and Maroochydore, the result's not the shock. The margin is 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Noosa and Noosa. As I said, they're going for a 4-peat this year.
That, of course, puts Noosa back on top of the table.
Does. Yeah.
How do you think Noosa are looking this year compared to previous years?
I think they're as good. Maybe just a little. Now that Andrei Janchevsky's come back, that's great news for Noosa, bad news for the rest of us. He was an absolute star for that. Him and Chris, who's playing at Peninsula Power up now in the NPL, the brothers, and he's going all right there. But Andre, he is fast. You got him on one side and Jared Austin on the other. And they've also got Addy Brader, who's quicker than them both. They're pretty hard to contain.
Yeah. It is, of course, Jared Austin's birthday today. Happy birthday, Jared. Caloundra, they laid a bit of a marker on the weekend, didn't they, with a 7-0 win over Coolum?
Can I say no?
No? Say no?
Because they've had 3 draws on the bounce, and our side, Woombye is probably not. You know, we know we're not one of the top sides, but we beat Coolum 4-0 last night. Coolum are struggling.
Okay.
Kalana are playing okay. Kalana won't finish last. I called that game on Saturday against BGs. BGs were lucky to get them.
Right. So just looking at the ladder, there's 5 points between the top 5 teams and 3 points between the top 4. So it's all to play for.
It is, and as I said, I sort of divided it into a top 5 and the bottom 5. Top 5 are fighting it out. The bottom 5 are going to do their best to muck them up. And I said muck, but I didn't say muck when I was talking to someone else.
All right, so let's get to this weekend's matches then, Kev. So going, you said Beerwah Glasshouse would be certainties to get over Coolum.
Yes, I would think so, yes.
What about the other matches? What's your fancy?
Let's have a look here. I think well, we've got Mumbai have got they've got away to Maroochydore. That will be a test, but of course I'm tipping Mumbai. We've won 3 on the bounce, so we're edging our way away from the bottom of the table. So, but they are the teams around us. Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Where did I write them down? I haven't written them down. Who are the other ones, Darren? You've got them written down there. I haven't.
Noosa.
Noosa, who's that?
Butter are hosting Noosa.
Noosa. That's it, Noosa. They're now just gonna. I think they're gonna steamroll everybody. That's just me. That now they've hit form because we got them Saturday week up there, and we'll do our best. But yeah, the Budrum have fallen off a little bit. I reckon. Yeah, I went for Noosa in the vlog I did, and I'm sticking with it by at least 2. Sorry, Damien War.
We of course had Daniel Carew on the show last week,
DK,
told us that they don't have a budget for their players. With your knowledge of all the other clubs, do they have budgets at all?
They probably operate the same way. We don't have a budget at all. We don't pay anybody. Yeah, probably. I think I can't say for sure, but they might operate the same way because I heard what Daniel was saying because that was half time in that game. But I was going to listen. And you were great, Liz. Yeah, I think they give the coach the money and say, he's here, spend it. You know what I mean? I think that's how it works. I know Noosa do spend a little money. They had some good sponsors up Medill Motors up there. But but Kevin's pretty good and he's pretty savvy. So but I don't know of too many others that do that. So not a lot of clubs do. Coolum wouldn't, Maroochydore wouldn't, Kawana wouldn't. I'd be surprised. They're mainly coached by club stalwarts, if you like. You know what I mean? Like we got David Benstead from Caloundra this year, and he gets a beer and a feed at the end of the game. we just don't pay anyone. They pay to play. And at a lot of clubs, they just pay to play.
Okay. Do you think this is the moment where Noosa are going to blow the rest of the league?
I think they're going to be. I wouldn't say they'll blow them away. They might have a couple of hiccups, but geez, I really thought Marucci would. Yeah, I really thought they'd run them close, but apparently, yeah, it was. They had their chances, Marucci, but Noosa converted this to the centre back, Blade Huston. I'm talking about all the attacking weapons they got, and Blake gets 2. Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty confident that they can get a 4-peat. I'll be surprised if they can't. There'll be a lot of clubs that'll say probably not. They got I always say when I do a vlog and say that, prove me wrong, and I'll say I'm wrong.
For sure.
Up to you, and I'll say I'm wrong.
Exactly. All right, so let's move over to the Women's League now, and we've got a new leader. Maroochydore beat Nambour Yandina on the weekend and went top.
4-1. Yes, they were the ones I picked 2 weeks ago. I'm sticking with them. They've got Rael Avery's hit form. She's a very talented young lady. She got a hat trick. And I've still got the Scarf sisters. I've still got, as I call, Alicia Cooper. As you might know, Mitch Cooper has signed with the Wanderers. And I said in the vlog, he signed with the Wanderers, but people who follow the Girl Power League, they'll just say he's Alicia's brother. Yeah, and I'm good like that. Alicia loved it. I'm not sure about Mitch. They're top of the tree now, and they'll be, and they're going to be very, very hard to beat. The Caloundra, they went up to Gympie again, and got beat up there, and that was a major shock 2 weeks ago. That's going to make life difficult for them in a straight-out race. And I don't believe the bottom 3, BGs, Gympie and us, they might cause a bit of havoc, but I think it's a race in 2.
Okay.
I think it's a race in 1, to be honest. But once again, prove me wrong.
Maroochydore FC top of the table with 18 points. Nambour Yandina on 16, Caloundra on 13, and less said about the rest, the better.
Thank you very much.
Looking at this weekend's results, this weekend's fixtures, sorry, we've got Maroochydore up against Caloundra. So a chance for Caloundra to pick a bit of ground back.
They can. If Channy Harris is on form, she can put a few in, definitely. And Drew Aiken, she's a good young talent, Drew Aiken, who she plays at Cully. She played the Wanderers last year. I'm still going with the Swannies.
Sure. And Woombye travel to Gympie. Chance for the Snakes to get some points, maybe?
I'd like to think so. I tipped them in the vlog, of course, but I think it was 6-0 last time. And, and just coming back in, they got some good players there. Sammy Sutton, she is a really, really good young player. And Amber Jensen's been banging in the goals, and so Sammy Bradshaw, the 2 Sammy shows. It was the 2 Sammy show, So I'd like to think we could cause a bit of havoc, but some of our girls have just turned 15, and we had to get sort of special permission to get them to play. But if we didn't do that, they would leave. I'd go somewhere else, and then we're way behind the 8 ball. But no, I'd like to think we could get them, but I'll be extremely happy if we did. That's all I'll say.
And of course, the other match is Beerwah Glasshouse up against Nambour Yandina. All right, my turn. Let's move over to the NPLW. The big results on the weekend was Gold Coast United up against Lions FC, and it was a huge win for the Gold Coast. That we've got new leaders on the table. It was a 2-0 victory for GCU, and just a massive result for Alex Bandalo's team. I actually got in touch with both clubs, and Lions believe it was a very physical game. So that's how Gold Coast were able to ruffle their feathers. They got physical. I know that Ellie Farrar in the back, I love watching her play. She just loves getting amongst it. And yes, Lions are, of course, a little bit under strength at the moment. They've got some injuries. And I should add, I hadn't mentioned this in the previous weeks, but Jess Dillon, she's actually been forced to retire. She's had diagnosed during the COVID lockdown with blood clot in her lungs.
Ooh.
Yes. Now, Jess has been got Australian junior honours, and her career has just had to come to a complete and utter stop, instant retirement while she gets this sorted. So I've been actually trying to get Jess to be the NPLW correspondent on this show, because she'd have an absolute wealth of knowledge to bring. So Jess, if you're watching, next week I want you in.
Come join me.
Yes. So yes, new leaders on top of the competition in Gold Coast United, and congratulations to them. Logan Lightning had a 4-2 win over South West Queensland Thunder. Now, I mentioned last week that the Thunder have been putting together good first halves. And I mentioned last week, if they get it to 50, 60, 70, 80 minutes, well, they did that last week. They were leading 2-1 till about the 70th minute, when Logan piled on all the pressure at the end and came away with the 4-2 win. So good signs there for the Thunder. Keep that going. South United had a 2-1 win away at Mitchelton. So that was the clash between the 2 synthetic pitches.
Yeah.
So, both teams would play their matches on synthetic pitches, so no advantage in travelling there. Football Queensland QAS had a 4-1 win over Moreton Bay United. I said last week that would have been Moreton Bay's big chance at getting some points. Didn't happen. Capalaba got their campaign back on track with a 3-2 win over Easts.
You saw the highlights, yeah.
For East, so East are now going to have to dig deep and get their campaign back on track. Now, with this weekend's fixtures, tonight Capalaba are playing Lions. Now, we're actually recording during the game, so not sure what's happening there, but I'm predicting that Capalaba are going to get the win tonight. However, they are playing Logan on the weekend, and I expect their inconsistency to come to the fore. So win tonight, lose against Logan on the weekend. That's my big call. See how that goes. Having a look at the other matches, Moreton Bay are hosting Mitchelton. Mitchelton should win that one, although that is a local derby, so there could be a little bit of extra spice there. The Gap are hosting Gold Coast United. Now, ordinarily, I'd tip the Gap in one of these games, but Gold Coast are just hot at the moment, and I tried to get in touch with Gary Ward just to see what's happening with his squad at the moment. I'm just concerned the Gap don't have quite enough firepower up the front. They just feel that that's their missing link. If they can get that, then they can give the league a real push. I've mentioned Logan. What was that?
The Capalaba and Lions. Do you want a score update? 67.
No.
67 minutes in, Capalaba 2, Lions 1.
Ooh. So far,
you're all over it.
Prediction.
You're all right.
Hold on. All right. Eastern Suburbs are hosting Football Queensland QAS. As I said, big chance for East to get back on track. And South United are hosting Southwest Queensland Thunder. Now, the Thunder normally don't travel too well on that synthetic pitch at Souths, but this is showing that this match is being actually played at Broadbeach United. So not sure what the story is there. Yeah. So who knows? I tried to send a message, but I obviously didn't get a reply prior to the recording of this. So anyway, that's our NPLW wrap. Yeah, really interesting. Anyway, Liz, let's get to the BWPL.
Okay.
You, of course, had the bye on the weekend, so everyone else had a run around.
Yep.
And
I
the Lakes.
Had the bye and couldn't get to any games.
Yeah, as you told us last week, you were very busy.
Oh, yeah.
But after me having a go at the Lakes defence,
I know.
for the past, they come out away with a clean sheet against Annalee, no less.
Of all people, I know. I saw that. I was a bit impressed. Got to say, they must have got their back line in working. I was I was happy for Lakes. I'm actually really good on them for getting that sorted. Looking good. 1-0 win. Virginia, Penn Power, 3-2. That I saw the highlights. I thought that wasn't actually a bad game, actually. Don't know if Virginia just ran out a bit of steam at the end or what. But, of course, Britt Whitfield's on the field. Feeder. What do you do? As much as she's everyone's nemesis, she can score goals from anywhere. She scores the most awkward-looking goals, but they get there. Coomera over Broadbeach 9-0. I had running commentary from that one, from a sideline. They were just all over them, unfortunately. I thought it might have been a closer game. UQAC, not actually closer game than I was thinking, 2-0. So good on AC for hanging in there. Hopefully they can I reckon that'll actually be a good game this week. They're up against Virginia this week, AC. They seems to be finding a little bit of form. Not just getting there, but, maybe Virginia might want to be careful this weekend, Costa. We'll just see what happens. Annalee UQ might actually be the game of the week, I think. That might be if Annalee come back to the games the way they were playing previously, they might give UQ a run. Otherwise, I think it's Lakes Broadbeach. Lakes get their defence in line. Broadbeach is still strong though. Their scoreline last week doesn't show against Coomera, but I think Coomera are another level. They're picking up a gear every week. Our biggest thing is making sure we can keep the goals going to keep in touch with them. Personally, it could come down at the end of the season. It could come down to for and against on our table. So Penn's got an extra game on everyone else already. They've played their 5, and so have Lakes. Coomera, UQ, Annalee, Rabina, AC have all played 4. and we've still got one game in hand. But Ipswich, Virginia, and Grange have still got 2 games in hand. So the table could do anything once those games are played. So as much as potential will look comfortable up top, anything could happen, I think, still. Because, I mean, we meet Penn next week, so that could be that'll be a good game, I reckon. It'll be a strong game. They travel to us, but anyway. This week's Penn Power and Grange. I'm going to go Penn, of course. Annerley, UQ. I'll go UQ, but I think Annerley might give them a touch up. I'm hoping. My predictions aren't always right. I suppose I better go the old bullies against Robina. I'll get in trouble if I don't. The girls were looking good at training tonight. We gave them a feed afterwards, fed them up on some sausages and snags. They're all still here, yakking away, which is good. AC Virginia. I might even go a draw on this one. I think it might be close. And Lakes Broadbeach. I think Broadbeach will come away with it, but I think Lakes are starting to find some form. So, yeah, it'd be good. It's me.
It's just with your squad, you've had a lot of new players brought in this season. Who've been your standout players so far?
I don't know if we can actually say there's a standout in our girls. Our girls really work as a team really well. And there's a couple of them that'll go and do a reserve grade game, then back up in topside as well, because we've had a fair bit of injury, illness. And the problem with Ipswich, we got a RAF base just there, and we have about 9 RAFies in our team. So 1 goes out, 2 goes out, 3 goes out. They fly somewhere, you can lose half a squad. So that's probably our biggest problem out here is with the RAF girls. Not saying that they're terrible. I love you all, but it does. If you lose 2 or 3 that fly out, you're rejigging. I mean, last week when we played against Broadbeach, that morning, see how I'm flying out. Quick rejig. So, I mean, I can't actually say there's standouts per se, because the girls do work really well together in a team. So they're pretty much.
Diplomatic answer, Liz.
Sorry.
A very diplomatic answer,
Well,
but
no. I mean,
who from the newbies has come in and you've gone, wow, they're really good?
Wow. A couple of them have only played a couple of games. So, geez, they all feel like they've been here forever, like they're part of the furniture. I don't know. I think they all just fit well. I can't actually pick one out that's an actual standout yet. Come back to me in a couple of weeks.
All right. How about this?
I think because we've had the bye, we've had a lot of girls doubling up and whatnot. I can't pick one of the newbies, so to speak, that's really standing out. And the girls do well. Most of their goals are team effort goals. They're not one shot, like taking it themselves and all theirs. There's no real ball hogs. Everyone passes it round. And I think they're really gelling really well this season. We had a bit of a lull last year. I think Annalie's game against us last year in the beginning of the year when we got called offside and it wasn't offside, and then everyone stopped and there was a goal allowed and all this sort of stuff, and everyone's heads went down. The season was over for us. No one really recovered from a poor reffing decision. But in saying that, this year they've all come back with a bit more passion. They were right on at their peak before COVID, and a little bit slow, but we've been lucky. The team we've gelled on game day. So as much as we have Tuesday nights, we don't get as many to training. Thursday nights we get different ones to train, because we've got some single mums and we've got family. We've got ones that work different shifts, so we don't always have the full squad both nights. So it's been actually really good for their training, and they train as a squad, reserve grade and topside train together as one squad. So they don't separate out until like the last bit of the night on who's going to be in what teams for the weekend. So I think that helps in forming the fact they can go up and down in each other's teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you off this week, Liz, but I will come back to that topic in future weeks. Be warned.
Okay, you're on. I can't be biased though. That's the problem.
Nothing.
Unfortunately, I had a blinder against Broadbeach, so but I can't. I've got to be careful. 7 goals, she got 5, but But that is all team effort. They've got to get the ball to her to make the goal.
All right, Liz Ridley, Kev Alderdice, thank you very much for your company again this evening.
No worries.
Lovely as always, Kev and Darren.
Okay.
Let's get another female on this panel, hey, and square it up.
Jess Dillon and Michael.
Come in, spinner.
Exactly.
This is part 2 of the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. Hopefully the men are putting a show together at the moment. We've got one of those shows for you as well, but we'll see what happens there. Anyway, we'll see you all next week, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Adios.